Have you ever questioned where true wisdom originates from? This is a query that has puzzled many great minds throughout history, yet within the pages of the book of James, we find a profound insight into this age-old question. James, a man of faith and understanding, held wisdom in high regard. He saw it not merely as intellectual knowledge, but as a deep spiritual discernment that guides our actions, decisions, and relationships. According to James, this wisdom is not something we can acquire through worldly pursuits. Instead, it's a divine gift, a treasure bestowed upon us by God Himself. James encourages us to seek wisdom from its purest source. He prompts us to ask God, the fountainhead of wisdom, assuring us that God gives generously to all, without finding fault. According to the book of James, wisdom is a divine gift, generously given to those who ask. Let's delve into the teachings of the book of James. Our story takes us back to a time when James, a humble servant of God, penned a letter to the 12 tribes scattered throughout the nations. His words, though ancient, still echo with profound wisdom and guidance for us today. James, in his wisdom, encouraged his readers to embrace trials and temptations. Now that may sound counterintuitive to many of us. After all, aren't trials and temptations something we should avoid? But James, with his divine understanding, saw it differently. He understood that these challenges were not mere obstacles, but stepping stones to spiritual growth and maturity. He wrote, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds." James knew that these trials test our faith, and through these tests, we develop perseverance. But he didn't stop there. He further instructed, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." James wanted his readers, and by extension us, to understand that trials and temptations are not punishments but opportunities for growth. They are the refining fire that purifies our faith, much like gold is purified through fire. Moreover, James taught us how to ask God for wisdom in the face of these trials. He assured us that God, in His infinite generosity, would provide the wisdom we seek without finding fault. The wisdom that comes from heaven, James explained, is pure, peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. In essence, James was teaching us that the path to divine wisdom is not a comfortable journey. It is a road marked with trials and temptations, but it is through these trials that we grow, mature, and gain the wisdom to navigate life's complex labyrinth. In the book of James, trials and temptations are not to be feared but embraced. Now, what does James say about wisdom? In the book of James, we find a profound understanding of wisdom, a divine kind that is not merely an accumulation of facts or skills, but a comprehensive approach to life. James, in his teachings, describes wisdom as having several key characteristics, each one as crucial as the other. Firstly, he presents wisdom as something pure. This purity is not merely about being free from corruption or deceit, but it refers to an unadulterated, singular focus on truth and righteousness. It is a wisdom that is uncontaminated by selfish motives or dishonest intentions. Secondly, James tells us that wisdom is peace-loving. It doesn't seek conflict or discord, but strives for harmony and understanding. It is a wisdom that promotes unity, not divisiveness, and fosters tranquility in the midst of turmoil. In addition, he explains that wisdom is considerate. It is understanding and empathetic, sensitive to the needs and feelings of others. It is not harsh or judgmental, but kind and compassionate. Also, this divine wisdom is submissive, not in a sense of weakness or subservience, but in a way that it yields to divine authority and recognizes the supreme wisdom of God. James also emphasizes that wisdom is full of mercy and good fruit. It is forgiving and generous, always ready to extend grace. It bears good fruit, meaning it results in positive, beneficial outcomes for all involved. Furthermore, wisdom, as per James, is impartial and sincere. It does not show favoritism or bias, but treats everyone with equal respect and dignity. It is sincere, genuine, and authentic, not feigned or artificial. In short, James paints a picture of divine wisdom as a multifaceted entity. It is not a single attribute or a simple trait. It is a complex, rich tapestry of virtues that, when woven together, create a way of life that is in harmony with God's will and purpose. Divine wisdom, as per James, is a multifaceted, pure, and peace-loving entity. Opening, how then do we acquire this wisdom? The book of James lays out a simple yet profound process for us to obtain this wisdom. It tells us in no uncertain terms to ask. Not just to ask, but to ask God. This is not a call to ask in a half-hearted or doubting way, but with conviction, with faith, and with an open heart. The beauty of this process is its simplicity. There are no complex rituals, no arcane knowledge needed. It is a simple conversation, a heartfelt request from you to the divine. It is a dialogue between you and the Creator of all things, where you, in all your humility, ask for wisdom. James tells us that God gives generously. He doesn't hold back, he doesn't ration or measure out wisdom in small doses. He gives generously to all without finding fault. This is a comforting thought, regardless of who we are, where we come from, or what we've done. God finds no fault in us when we ask for wisdom. He does not judge or condemn us for our lack of wisdom, but gives freely and abundantly to fill our need. This promise is not exclusive to a select few. It is for all who ask, all who recognize their need for wisdom, all who humbly come before God in their quest for understanding. God does not discriminate, does not show favoritism. His wisdom is freely available to all who seek it. This wisdom, the wisdom that comes from heaven, is pure. It breeds peace. It is considerate and submissive. It is full of mercy and good fruit. It is impartial and sincere. This is the wisdom we seek, the wisdom we need. So how then do we acquire this wisdom, we ask? With humility and faith we ask. We ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and in his generosity he will give. Closing, ask and it will be given to you. Such is the promise of James. What difference does this wisdom make in our lives? This is a question that may have crossed your mind as we've journeyed through the teachings of James. The answer is profound and multifaceted, because divine wisdom, the wisdom that comes from heaven, has the power to transform us in remarkable ways. Firstly, divine wisdom guides our actions. It's not just about knowing what is right or wrong. It's about understanding the why behind these moral compasses. This wisdom gives us the ability to see the bigger picture, to understand the consequences of our actions, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. It encourages us to be considerate, to act with kindness, and to foster peace. Secondly, divine wisdom shapes our decisions. It's like a trusted advisor, gently guiding us towards choices that reflect integrity, compassion, and humility. It's not about making the easy decisions, but about making the right ones. The ones that align with our values, that prioritize the well-being of others, that are full of mercy and good fruit. Divine wisdom also influences our relationships. It urges us to be impartial and sincere, to treat everyone with respect and dignity, regardless of who they are or where they come from. It teaches us to see the innate value in every individual, to appreciate diversity and to foster unity. But perhaps the most significant impact of divine wisdom is its ability to transform our hearts. It's not just about changing our behavior, but about changing our very nature. It purifies us, making us more loving, more understanding, more forgiving. It helps us to become the best version of ourselves, to grow into people of character and virtue. So, the impact of divine wisdom is profound, transformative, and life-altering. It's not just about gaining knowledge, but about becoming wiser, kinder, and more compassionate individuals. Wisdom, according to James, is not just knowledge, but a guiding light for our lives. And that light, my friends, has the power to illuminate not just our paths, but the paths of those around us. So, what can we learn from the book of James? In this journey through the teachings of James, we've discovered the immense value of wisdom. Wisdom, as we've seen, is more than just knowledge. It's a divine gift, a beacon of light in a world that can sometimes seem dark and confusing. James teaches us that if we find ourselves lacking in wisdom, we should not hesitate to ask God for it. This wisdom is given generously without fault-finding, a testament to the boundless love and grace of the divine. This wisdom, as James describes, is pure, peace-loving, considerate, submissive, filled with mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere. It's not just about making better decisions, but about becoming better individuals, leading lives that are richer, more meaningful, and more aligned with our highest values. As we journey through life, let us remember James's words: ask for wisdom, and it will be given generously.